Har du någon gång hört om Crypto Bros som drömmer om ett eget land? Jag antar att ni har hört om det. Folk brukar ha hört om det. Det har hänt flera gånger i historien. Libertarianer har tänkt att de ska skapa sitt eget land. Och så går det alltid åt helvete. För de har aldrig tänkt på hur ett land fungerar eller hur ett samhälle fungerar. De tänker att om vi bara är en massa killar med pengar så kan vi få ett samhälle att fungera. Och så glömmer de bort alla typ grejer som rörmokare, sophämtare, städare. Sådana grejer. Det finns en väldigt bra sån story. Jag älskar den här storyn. Det handlar om Crypto Bros som köper kryssningsfartyg. Och så tänker de att det här kryssningsfartyg, varje hytt på den ska du kunna köpa som din egen lägenhet. Det är kondo. Och så ska den här båten då bli deras egna land. Så de ska flyta ut på internationellt vatten, bli sitt egna land. Och så kan ni bo där, alla crypto dudes. Ni har varsin lägenhet, ni vet. Ni är där, alla crypto bros. Ni handlar i crypto. Ni behöver inte bry er om resten av världen. Ni är en båt på internationellt vatten, men bryr sig. Vore det tråkigt om det slutar med att man invaderar Australien? Så vi ska kolla lite på det här nu. Det här är en helt otrolig historia, säger jag bara.
Mankind has come a long way. From brain-dead cavemen who played with rocks all day in Africa, to slaves building giant pointless pyramids in Egypt, we went to the moon and have even invented robots smarter than the average American. Now look where we are. Unlimited entertainment, self-driving cars and trips to space. What a time to be alive, boys. But unfortunately, getting here has had its downsides. A climate crisis, ridiculously high taxes, corrupt governments and YouTube commentary channels are the price we've had to pay. And for some, it just wasn't worth it.
Får jag gissa egen praktik? Flyttar de till Tijuana? Jag säger det med fördom.
The system was rigged, and they wanted freedom. Boys, close your eyes, and imagine a floating utopia in the beautiful blue ocean, free from corrupt governments, taxes, and smoke perp freestyles.
Okej, Al Capone hade varit min andra.
The currency, cryptocurrency, and since there's no taxes, you can keep all your cum rocket profits, live in luxury cabins, mine all the Bitcoin your heart desires, and host 1v1 LAN parties in Rust. A true paradise for digital entrepreneurs, crypto traders, and anti-government chads to get together, discuss revolutionary ideas,
I'm just saying that Fortnite is overrated,
and watch copious amounts of hentai. It was to be a true hub for technological innovation.
Alltså fatta hur mycket den här kryssningsbåten skulle lukta av sperma bara, eller?
This was something the three delusional madmen actually tried to make happen, and to say it went badly is a slight understatement. Chad Elwartowski, this video's protagonist, a very fitting name for one of the main men behind this highly retarded but yet ambitious idea. Chad was a software engineer, but got bored of coding anime dating sims, so he turned to trading.
Åh nej, heter den The Anarchists? Oh god. Nej.
Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin to be specific. As a libertarian, Chad's anti-government bad boy attitude related heavily with the decentralized nature of cryptocurrencies. For all you autists watching this, decentralized simply means that it isn't owned or controlled by a central government or organization. It truly gives power to the gamers. And it turned out, Chad was a crypto trading genius and a damn good hodler, making so much money to basically retire in 2015. Influencer crypto scammers would be...
Men det är Styx Hexenhammer. Det är hans... Styx Hexenhammer, om ni inte vet vem det är en icke-Chad-versionen av mig. Har ni sett vem Styx Hexenhammer är?
proud.
And I support Save the Kids token.
Chad was retired, grinding RuneScape for 10 hours a day and binging an unhealthy amount of anime. A dream for many, but not for him. He was a free spirit. He was sick of the education system not teaching memology. He was sick of big tech companies spying on him through his own webcam. And he was sick of paying taxes when he couldn't stay to spend that money buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It was time to go off the grid, so Chad did what any normal gamer would. In 2019, he and his girlfriend Nadia left civilization, moved into a floating house in the ocean, which looks like it was built by an actual retard using Fallout 4 settlement mechanics. Chad, as well as being a level 100 crypto trader, is also an avid seasteader. Seasteading is a concept of creating a new state in the sea, outside the jurisdiction of any government. With this concept in mind, Chad moved into this crummy little shithole right here, 15 miles off the coast of Thailand. Chad was raving on social media about how he was now beyond the laws and territories of any country that he...
Jag vill bara säga det att om du funderar på att göra det här, vi har fortfarande internationell lag. Så du kan inte göra vad du vill bara för att det är på internationellt vatten. Det var väldigt länge sedan det var en grej. Jag har en bok nu. Ska vi se. Tänker vi görs där, flyttat där. Den här boken, den handlar om pirater från 1600-talet ungefär. Boken skrevs på 1714 tror jag. Bra bok. Skriver om en person som inte finns. Så, fortsätter vi.
He was now free and could basically do whatever the fuck he wants. A Thai government official saw these bold claims whilst mindlessly scrolling on Twitter, and the Thailand government didn't take too kindly to it. In fact, they sent out 3 navy ships that completely fucking destroyed the structure, claiming that it was a threat to Thailand's independence.
Stop! You violated the law.
An offence punishable by death. Chad then had his visa revoked, was charged with violating Thai sovereignty, and he and his girlfriend were now fugitives that, if caught, would be killed.
Motherfucker!
He had received the tip that the Navy...
Men jag tror de bara invaderar Australien. De invaderar också Thailand alltså.
Coming to fuck shit up, so he was able to flee before it all happened. There was a change.org petition created to save the couple's lives. However, this went nowhere. They went into hiding, were never detained, and managed to flee the country. To this day, they are still wanted dead by the Thai government. Okay, so the first attempt of seasteading was a complete disaster. But Chad wasn't done yet. Chad teamed up with his 2 friends, entrepreneur Grant Roman, who claims to have lived in a tech frat house in university, and German engineer Rudiger Koch. The 3 unironically called themselves the Bitcoin Bros.
Okay.
Founded Ocean Builders years prior, a company focused on building homes and communities on the open ocean. The idea of a crypto cruise ship utopia wasn't originally in the trio's plans. Cruise ships cost a lot of money, easily over $100 million. That's a lot of OnlyFans subscriptions, which was very tempting. But this was 2020, during the height of the pandemic, when the cruise ship industry was a complete dumpster fire, dropping the price of a cruise ship from upwards of 100 mil to around $9 million.
DDCC 321. Vi bör avskaffa kapitalismen. Vi bör förgöra dagens institutioner. Men vi får absolut, vad vi än gör, jag behåller hellre kapitalismen än att ge fascisterna makten. Så här. Se till att hålla fascisterna borta från makten är prio 1. Sen kan vi diskutera resten.
The date was October 2020. The Bitcoin bum chums had accumulated $9.5 million and purchased ex-cruise liner Pacific Dawn for 91% off in the Steam Winter Sale. They renamed the ship to the MS Satoshi, a tribute to Bitcoin's anonymous founder Satoshi Nakamoto, but little did they know that this ship was fucking cursed. 30 years ago, the ship was christened by Margaret Thatcher, a former UK Prime Minister and perhaps one of the most despicable homophobic old bitches to ever live. In 2009...
Hon är så mycket mer än det. Hon är bland det värsta som har varit i världspolitiken. Hon är monster. Ett monster. Alltså ett monster. Hon är värre än den här facehuggern som stryper Robbie the Rabbit. Så där så. Fuck you. Fan, jag hatar den här kameravinklarna. Fuck.
Some of the first known cases of swine flu were on board the ship when 14 passengers tested positive, and on the 12th of April 2018,
Vet du att de vaktar hennes grav så att man inte kan pissa på den? Jag försökte göra det när jag var i London. Dels så försökte den brittiska tjejen jag var med så att jag inte fick göra det. Men sen så var det en som försökte göra det. Jag tror en skotte. Och så kom det fram polis och då var det så att det här kanske inte ska göra.
47-year-old woman on board thought she'd practiced her cannibal technique and jumped overboard. Her body is still yet to be found, but this was a new era. Chad and the boys had big things planned for the MS Satoshi.
Well, what kind of crazy things had Chad and the boys got planned?
Okay, so the ship will sail off the coast of Panama in completely unregulated oceans, allowing the MS Satoshi to become its own state with its own laws. The ship will only run on and accept cryptocurrencies. Fiat will be completely banned. If this actually works, the MS Satoshi will become a welcome utopia for crypto enthusiasts, digital nomads, and entrepreneurs that desire freedom, basically acting as a bunch of sweaty cabins for tech-savvy neckbeards. They had planned to auction off 777 cabins on board the ship, bids starting at $25,000.
Will the ship have a gaming room for us gamers?
Yes, Wojak, and much more. High-speed internet for the neckbeards, a luxurious casino for the gambling addicts, 5-star restaurants, luxurious office space, fitness centers for the Sigma males, and even the ability to own your own business on board the ship.
Would any of you guys like to buy some lemonade?
Chad and the boys even hired a cruise ship management company to help keep things in check. Very professional. It was time to get people on board. The marketing had to be big and it had to be bold. A true spectacle if Chad had any chance of selling his revolutionary idea. It was announced on Reddit to mediocre reception. Most people called it a scam, some compared it to Fire Festival, and one guy even proposed the idea of having a brothel on board the ship, claiming that he was an industry veteran.
Yeah, boy.
The MS Satoshi had its critics, but with support from the Panama government, surely nothing could go wrong. Things started going wrong very quickly. On the 5th of November 2020, bidding for ownership of the cabins opened. Literally nobody bid. It turned out that people didn't really want to leave their homes and families to constantly feel seasick in a shitty cramped little cabin. The cabins almost instantly went on sale for half price. Still no interest. The idea was then abandoned immediately. They instead made the cabins available to rent on a monthly basis. An interior cabin for $570, an ocean view cabin for...
Ja just det, de sålde dem inte bara utan började hyra ut dem som hyresrätter istället. Det här kommer bli ett problem.
$629, or a balcony cabin for $719, with electricity costing another few hundred per month, regardless of how much electricity you actually use. This is the same price as renting a 3-bedroom home. Surely for these prices, not only will the cabins be highly luxurious, but will also cure AIDS. Unfortunately, it did neither. In reality, the cabins were cramped, outdated, and none of them even had kitchens. If you wanted to eat, you were going to have to visit one of the ship's overpriced restaurants.
No microwave in my room. How in the name of God, Jack, am I supposed to heat up my Rustler's burger?
Well, you'll have the option to rent one of the microwaves in the restaurant's kitchen. On a ship based on the concept of absolute freedom, did Chad really just monopolize the most basic human necessity? Yes. Yes, he fucking did.
Alltså, här.
The company selling it realized that none...
Jag tänker också det, för du är fast på det där skeppet som du tänker att det ska bli, om du ska sälja sex på den där båten, vilket du kommer behöva göra för att ingen av de här pojkarna får knulla. Men om du ska göra det, du måste ju ha ett eget säkerhetsteam, eller hur? Men det kommer ju bara sluta som den här förra båten de hade där de började hota hela befolkningen med ett jävla SWAT-team.
None of these 3 retards knew anything about the cruise line industry and completely fucking scammed them.
Yes, we will sell you the ship. Even though it's completely falling apart and the ship's legal certificates have expired years ago.
I'm sorry, did you say the ship is falling apart?
No, I didn't. Are you calling me a liar?
During a little test run, the captain realised that the ship was a complete piece of shit in its current state and barely worked. Later admitting that a week into the job, he already wanted to resign. The ship was a giant floating hazard and very illegal to sail.
Can we have our money back, please?
What money? I don't know what you're talking about. Now fuck off.
Oh my god, babe, you're such a Chad.
The 3 quickly discovered that the ocean is not some lawless, unregulated wasteland that the movies had led them to believe. Quite the fucking opposite. Some of the most strictly regulated areas in the entire world. Chad ended up having to send the ship to Gibraltar, paying millions in repairs and inspections in order to meet those virgin soy boy regulations. At this point, Ocean Builders was running out of money, but surely that was the end of the costs. Well, no.
Det visar sig att du kan inte segla vilken jävla skräpbåt som helst.
Also turns out that running a cruise ship is pretty fucking expensive, potentially millions per month, with fuel alone costing $12,000 per day.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, how about we don't actually sail the ship? We just park it right outside Panama, deregister it as a ship, and instead just become a big fuck off floating house. But after realising this would mean the ship would be dumping all its piss and shit toilet waste all over the beach resorts, the Panama government wasn't too keen, as if things weren't already going down the shitter. The Bitcoin artists had forgotten about one very small thing: insurance. The ship was uninsured, making it extremely illegal to sail, and who would have thought that insurance companies wouldn't be so keen on insuring a completely unregulated utopian crypto ship overseen by a wanted fugitive. Grant started publicly ranting about how normie insurance companies just weren't understanding how much money they were going to make from their onboard brothel, which didn't really help their case. And with that, the game was over. Crypto traders, greasy neckbeards and wannabe Jack Sparrows worldwide were heartbroken. The MS Satoshi was gonna have to be sold. It was devastating for the Bitcoin bros. Rudiger took to day trading shitcoins. Chad has been reduced to arguing with strangers on Twitter, but Grant, realising that he was, at least for now, still part owner of a luxury cruise ship, went on holiday. On the MS Satoshi.
Oh my god, plot twist.
Step aside, Chad, because Grant is the new Chad in town. He spent weeks draining the bar of all his alcohol, getting a master key to specifically go into every room that said do not enter.
Bro, I'm trying to take a shit.
And chaotically running around, enjoying the ship's water park all by himself like an overexcited man-child. What an absolute legend. Chad has since taken a break from arguing on Twitter to admit that the entire idea was extremely retarded. Whilst Grant and Rudiger are now working on a new project, the C-Pod. Unfortunately, the project really doesn't have much going for it, apart from having a nice website with pretty concept art. The MS Satoshi had to be sold, but who would buy a cruise ship in the middle of a pandemic? An Indian scrapyard. The ship was sadly going to be destroyed, but thankfully even the scrapping contract fell through because the ship was deemed hazardous waste. As of a few weeks ago, the ship was purchased by Ambassador Cruise Line for over $10 million. So a net profit for the boys, surely to be wisely spent on Discord Nitro and overpriced NFTs. Unfortunately, the MS Satoshi is returning to be just a normal cruise ship, not the Chad crypto utopia that we all wanted.
It's beautiful.
I hate this world. Det är liksom så här, den här båten, alltså hela idén med den här båten, det är att bara 3 snubbar som inte får ligga vill göra ett utopia. Klart det inte funkar. Du hade en tjäder i som bara vägrade inse att loppet är kört. Jag är glad att båten fick komma tillbaka dit den förtjänade att vara. Den förtjänade inte att vara i deras klubb. Jag kan säga bara så här. Om ni går in på Behind the Bastards, på vilken poddapp ni än har, och så söker ni på Libertarian Utopias, så kommer ni få 2 avsnitt där han bara kör såna här berättelser om libertarians som gör exakt samma dumma jävla sak. Hilarious. Det är bara. Vi kanske kan lyssna på snippet. Ska vi se. Behind the Bastards. Libertarian Utopias. Just det, Libertarian Sea Nations. Kul. Kan lyssna lite på det här bara. Nej, vi skiter i det. Libertarian Sea Nations, här har ni det. Leta upp det här avsnittet. Part 1. Not at all sad history of Libertarian Sea Nations. Ni kommer få mer än den här båten.